Hey, I'm Robin, and these are my reflections. I am doing a VR today to Logan at Larkin Legend. He has a hashtag that he has started called Deck Reconnect. And I love this because Logan said in his video, which I will link below, that these are not decks that I want to get rid of. This is not the decks that are in my closet or what people call the purgatory, or whatever. I have the closet. But these are decks that I love, and I don't know why I'm not using them, or I know why I'm not using them, most of them. And I haven't been using them as much as I would like to in 2022, and I want to change that in 2023. So I'm going to just kind of go through the decks and just talk about what happened, how they got left in the dust, and what I want to what I love about them, and maybe kind of how I plan to use them if I have a plan. Some of them I may not even have a plan, to be honest. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna start. I think a playlist, and I'm gonna call it Collection Reflection. Yeah, and I'm just going to do some of these videos where I reflect on my collection because I want to spend 2023 doing just that, reflecting on my collection, looking at my cards, using them, playing with them, thinking about them, talking about them, and a little less of purchasing them because right now I have a lot and I haven't had a chance to enjoy it. I haven't had a chance to enjoy what I have. So I want to spend 2023 really enjoying what I have, rather than bringing in a whole lot more. Now, I have decks coming in already from Kickstarters and pre-orders. Those I'm not going to cancel. And if I see something that I want, I'm going to get it. I'm not stopping my collecting. I'll always be a collector of decks. But I have in 2020 and 2021 especially done a lot of searching out decks because in that time I actually discovered in 2020 I actually discovered YouTube and Instagram. I mean, I knew about YouTube and Instagram, but I wasn't on Instagram. I didn't have an account. And I wasn't on YouTube watching anything more than music videos. And then 2021, I discovered that I could actually like make an account on YouTube and like subscribe. Which changed the game completely. So yeah, I am like all of that has brought a lot of decks to my awareness that would have never been in my awareness before, and I've discovered a lot of beautiful things, and I want to use them. I have them now, and I want to use them. So here are some of the decks in no particular order that I want to make sure that I connect with in 2023. The first one up is the Lebanco Tarot. So this deck is one that I discovered on YouTube, I think, maybe Instagram. I can't remember. It was no, this was after the Kickstarter. It was a Kickstarter, I think, but I didn't back it. But I got it, and I love it. It's a beautiful deck. I'm not sure if it's still in print. Matter of fact, I think it might be out of print now, and I'm not sure if it's coming back, so I do apologize. But I don't use it. And I think that the reason that I didn't use it is because I started looking at the cards and I realized that they're deep. And I wanted to do a deep dive and I wanted to get into this guidebook. And sometimes when I want to get into a guidebook, I used to have a really bad habit. Well, it wasn't a bad habit. It was just a ritual of when I got a deck, I always read the guidebook before I even shuffled the cards. That was like a ritual of mine, part of my ritual of getting a deck. I had to stop that because it was getting to the point where, especially in 2021, where so many decks were coming in, I couldn't read the guidebooks. And then the decks were just languishing because I wasn't using them because I didn't read the guidebooks. And I didn't want that. So I stopped doing that. And now I just, if I want to read the guidebook, what I will do is I will use my deck. And then when I'm ready to read the guidebook, I'll just put the deck back in order and go through the guidebook as if I just got the deck, which is, it takes no time to put the deck back in order. It's worth it for me to be able to use my deck when it comes in rather than having to wait until I have time to read a guidebook. When I first started collecting, I had decks. My decks didn't have a whole lot of guidebooks. They had like pamphlets, little white books, I guess they're called. Now these guidebooks are, 100, 150, some 200 plus pages. So I have to find time for that, This is a beautiful deck, and I think I got caught up in that. I want to read the guidebook first and go through it. Look at this. Look at this Five of Cups. Um, I'm no more, no more, no more. This deck is on my list of Reconnect. I am going to use this deck this year, whether I read this guidebook or not. But what I have done is I have chosen 6 decks this year that I want to read the guidebook for that are languishing because I haven't read the guidebook. And those are, there's only 6. So I feel like if there are only 6, I can get to them, right? Because there's 12 months in a year. That's one every 2 months. I can make it happen. This is the Deep Place Oracle, another one that is languishing because I wanted to do a deep dive with it. I want to read this book. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I want to go through it. Look, it's still got the stickers in the box. I haven't used the stickers. This is the thank you note. Like, I have used this deck once or twice. But I haven't used it in the way that I want to use it. And this is a freaking beautiful deck. Let's zoom in so you can really see this sucker. It's gorgeous. I love it. It reads very well and it goes with a lot of my decks because it's my style. It's my style. So why am I not using it, right? Why am I not connecting with it? Because it got caught up in that I want to read the guidebook. Another reason is it came in at a time, this was a Kickstarter. I backed this one on Kickstarter. It came in at a time it came in with another deck, and the other one just sort of sucked up my attention. And this one languished. I used it once or twice, shuffled it once or twice, put it back in the box and was like, okay, I'm going to get to the guidebook. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. And then a lot of other decks started coming in. It got pushed to the back of the shelves, and it happens. It happens. And this is another one that I am pulling out of the back of the shelf, and I am going to start using this beautiful deck because it's fabulous. It covers the above, the below, and then the liminal space. And the images are stunning. They're very evocative. The keywords are expansive. There's no reason I shouldn't be using this deck in just about everything. It goes with a lot of my decks. So yeah, this is a beautiful Oracle deck that I want to reconnect with in 2023. That's the Deep Place Oracle. The next Oracle deck that I want to reconnect with, or actually just plain old connect with in 2023, is the Star Codes Astro. I bought this deck at the same time I bought another one, the Sacred Cycles it's called, and that deck sucked so much of my attention that I never used this one. And this is a beautiful deck. And not only that, this is going to be my year for this because I'm planning to do some deep diving with tarot and astrology. So yeah, this is going to be my deck, I think. This is beautiful. These colors are stunning. I love color on gray or cream backgrounds. So it is my aesthetic. I love that it has keywords because it's not just giving me the signs and, all of that. It gives me a keyword. So I can use them as flashcards as well. The guidebook is pretty good. I haven't skimmed through it. I peeked through it when I got it. It gives a lot of really good information about astrology in general, like general information about astrology, and then also divination information so that you can use these as a real oracle deck, which I appreciate. So I think that I have plans for this one. I think I'm going to be using this as an oracle and also for testing myself and flashcards and things. So, and plus it's just darn pretty. So I might use this for daily pulls to sit on my desk just because it's pretty, I love this. I think it's gorgeous. I'm very excited to have it. It's on that lovely Hay House cardstock that's super easy to shuffle. It's not the best cardstock. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's easy for my little bitty hands to shuffle. And so I can use this as like a daily pull deck, use this for Instagram challenges, that sort of thing. So that's my plan for Star Codes Astro Oracle. This is a Hay House deck. You can get this on Hay House or on Amazon or anywhere where you buy your decks. You might even be able to buy this one at like Barnes & Noble. It's mass market and readily available. So that's Star Codes Astro. Next up is The Cat Tarot. I love this deck. Why have I not used it? All right, story time. Last year, around this time of year, I was watching Mistress Ray's channel. And in one of her videos, I'm not sure which, and I'm not going to go searching for it, but in one of her videos, she was talking about how she planned to put all of her decks back in order so that she could know which deck she used this year and which one she didn't. And at the end of the year, when she pulled out a deck, she would know which one she used and which one she didn't. Well, look at this. Still in order. I have not used this deck this year at all. And why? I love this deck because it just got pushed to the back of the shelf. You know, it just did. So yeah, I want to pull this sucker back out and start using it again. I love this. It's so adorable. It's kind of deep. Like when you start really thinking about these characters and how they relate to the tarot archetypes that they're portraying here. It's fun. It's fun for me. I love a good cat deck. Anything with cats on it, I'm going to buy. I bought this on a whim. Pretty much one of those, I think I got this from Llewellyn's website on one of those sales where you needed the extra thing I was buying some books, I think. And I needed something to get the free shipping. I didn't have enough in my cart. And I saw this. It was a cat deck. And it was on way sale. I think they had it like 50% off or something. And so I got it. And I have been in love. And I have not used it at all this year. And so, yeah, I'm about to change that. I want to change it. I want to get back into my cat tarot. It's very cute. At one point, I was going through the guidebook and, like, writing down who the people were from the people that I didn't know, going through Wikipedia and trying to figure out who they were and like making little notes about the stories, but I ran out of space. So yeah, I stopped that, but I still remember some of the stories that I looked up. Maybe I'll edge it too. I think I'll edge it. What color should I edge it in? Maybe I love the backs. It's like Da Vinci Kitty. I'm thinking gold. I don't know. What do you think? Black, gold. Really only two options here. It's got to be black or gold. So that's the Cat Tarot. Lo Scarabeo. Okay. The next deck, another deck from Hay House. Another deck from Hay House. This one is the Rose Oracle. I have never had a Rebecca Campbell deck in my collection. This is the first one, the only one, actually. I love roses. They remind me of my mother. She loves roses. I was very interested in Rebecca Campbell and getting a Rebecca Campbell deck because, what is going on here? Because people talk about them so much, but I wasn't feeling any of the other ones. When this one came out, I thought, yes. This is the one. This is the one. This is my Rebecca Campbell Oracle. I'm going to get it. And I got it. And I used it a couple of times. I did. But I guess I just don't get it. And I think it's because I need to read the guidebook. I did read the beginning of the book, the intro, into where she was talking about the archetype of the rose and all of that. I love these backs. They're freaking gorgeous. Like, I want to dive and swim in these backs. But, yeah, I read about that, but I haven't really I want to just maybe go through some of the cards and like read what she has written there because I've been using it just with the keywords and the titles. And I think maybe if I read what she's saying about the cards, it might help a little bit. Because sometimes I don't understand what I'm looking at in these images or what she's trying to say. And, when I'm using them in a reading, they confuse me. So I want to use them some more. I think that they're beautiful, and I don't want to give up on them yet. I just want to give them a fair shake. You know what I mean? Like, I've only maybe used them 4 times maybe, since I received them this year or last year now. And, yeah, I want to give them a fair shake, like I said. So, yeah, this is the Rose Oracle. You can get this from Hay House, and I think... anywhere else you can buy tarot, probably Yeah, because I've seen the other Rebecca Campbell decks even at Barnes & Noble, and I know you can buy it on Amazon. All right, so that is the Rose Oracle. Next up is the Farhakxa Tarot. So, funny story about this one. I bought something from NJ Cullinane's website. If you know her site, you know that she does a lot of sales or a lot of buy one, get one. If you get this, you get that for $10, or you can buy this and get this for $10. And I bought something and got this for $10. And I figured, why not? I want to try it. I don't have this one. Let me see. People are talking about it. Everybody's loving it. I'm not super into fae or fairies or whatever these are. But why not? $10, it's worth a shot. I do tend to like her work, right? Opened it up and was like, okay, this is interesting. Saw this and all these bugs, put the top back on and put it back in the closet. I actually put this one in the closet, y'all. It was in purgatory. But I pulled it back out because I haven't even given it a fair shot because of the insects on the first card. I was thinking to myself, Robin, come on, there are 78 cards. These little bees are not that bad. Not like some of the bugs that I've seen. And there's so much else happening on the card. I think I might be able to handle. So I'm going to go through them this year. I'm probably going to I'm going to do a deep dive. I'll read the book, go through them, see how I feel about these pretty cards. Because they are pretty. Look, more bugs. They all look like bugs. What's going on? Like, I don't know. This is not something that I particularly want to get rid of until I've worked with it. I'm not interested in ridding myself of it until I've worked with it because it's beautiful. Like when I look at these cards, sometimes they're some of them are quite breathtaking, like this one. And I don't get it, and it's because I haven't taken the time with it. So this is definitely one I want to get to this year. I want to read the guidebook. I want to look further at these cards. I want to understand. My understanding is there is a story behind these creatures. So I want to read about them. And I want to get into this one. So that is the bees. I do not like insects, y'all. I do not like bugs. That is the Farhakxa Tarot. Also one of my decks that I want to reconnect with in 2023. Okay, moving steadily on. This is the Fox's Wedding Tarot. I have been kind of on a Marseille kick in the last few months. I blame is it The Waves of Your Soul? What is her name? Is it Marlene? No. What is her name? I can't remember her name. But I blame her for this because she at the waves of your I can't get it out. At the Waves of Your Soul, she on her Instagram page, she mentioned a Marseille deck that I had to have. It had Tupac, and I have it. I bought it. But I promised myself that I wasn't going to buy it unless I worked with Marseille for at least one full month because I had a lot of decks that I wasn't using. More decks. I don't have as many Marseille decks as I do others, of course, but I had enough, and I wasn't using them at all. I hadn't read with a Marseille deck probably in over a year at that point. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to, well, maybe I'm exaggerating. It probably wasn't a year, but it was enough months that I felt I needed to do some work with Marseille before I bought another Marseille deck. And so I opened a book that I bought from Llewellyn. It was still wrapped in the cellophane on Reading Marseille. I think it's called Reading Marseille. And I did a month's work with Marseille, and I fell back in love with my Marseille decks, and I am still quite in love with them even after that. But this is the Fox's Wedding Tarot. It is a Marseille-based deck, Marseille-inspired art restoration, and I love it. It's beautiful. I haven't been using it for that very reason. I wasn't reading with Marseille. And it comes with a big guidebook that actually has a lot of good information. And the meanings are like the information and the divinatory meanings in the book are Marseille based, which I love because a lot of my guidebooks are, look, a bug. Why? My guidebooks are, RWS based, so it's nice to have a little guidebook with short blurbs that are giving me Marseille love, Marseille meaning, Marseille blurbs. It's very nice. So I would like to get back into this. I would like to read through the guidebook and use this deck. I love art restoration decks. Or is that what they're called? Art restoration? Or I don't know. But I love this. I think it's beautiful. And I want to get back to using it again. Because I used it a lot. I used it a little when I got it. And then I stopped. Because, to be honest, when I read with Marseille, a lot of times I have to dip into the guidebook. And I think I just got tired of looking in the book. I'm better now. But since I got this deck, I'm much better with it. So I can use it better now. So that is the Fox's Wedding Tarot. Nope, I have 2 more tarot decks. Okay. This is, oh shucks. Oh no, what's the name of this one? I don't have the box either because that box was on my nerves. I'm just going to talk and hopefully I will remember the name as we go along. Beautiful deck. It came to me in a Kickstarter. I Kickstarted it so fast I couldn't. My head spun. Like, I was like, this is gorgeous. I need it. It's gorgeous. It's super diverse. I want it. And I got it. And, but it came in the Kickstarter. The day that she shipped, this arrived, it came the same day as 2 other decks. One of which I used enough. And the other one that I was obsessed with. It came the same day as my Britney Spears Oracle and my Hocus Pocus Tarot. All 3 of them came in the mail the same day. And the Hocus Pocus Tarot just sort of took over. Like I was obsessed with that deck. And so this one, I used it a little, but it kind of languished and then it started looking kind of summery. So I put it in my summer box. And it's just been sitting there and I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all because this is a beautiful deck. And so I'm looking forward to the summer coming back around so that I can pull this one out. And I think this is going to be one of the first ones that I read with when I'm feeling these sort of brighter colors again. This is stunning. It is diverse. It has a lot of movement. It has a lot of color. I love the white space around. When they're laid out next to each other, they look so pretty and emotive. And I don't know. I just love these cards. I read with them once or twice, maybe more than that, maybe 4 or 5 times. And then they got put away. And so this is another deck that I want to reconnect with. This one is called The Unfolding. See, I told you it would come to me. The Unfolding Path Tarot. These are the backs. This is the Unfolding Path Tarot. Okay, next up is the Southern Gothic Oracle. Now, this deck is a deck that I have been seeing a lot all over Instagram, all over, mostly on Krista at Crochet Witch Wears. And I have been seeing it, where else have I been seeing this? I don't know. I've been seeing it in a lot of places recently. And I had it and didn't even really remember that I had it, to be honest. Look, I kept the bag it came in because it was so cool. Let me show y'all. So it came in this like bag and I cut it. This is like, like a packaging that the deck was in. And I thought it was so cool that I cut it off and put it in the box because it's so neat. It was so cute. That was like the envelope that it came in. So this is a Southern Gothic Oracle with the Gothic expansion, the Haunts expansion in mixed in. So you may see some. The ones without the numbers are the expansion pack. I bought this deck because I live in the South. A lot of my family It's from the South. And yeah, it speaks to me. It spoke to me when I saw it on Etsy. It had a piece of cornbread in, which reminded me quite a bit of the Hoodoo Tarot, which is also on my list. So it'll be coming up soon. I, yeah, I didn't use it. I got it. I used it a couple times. And to be honest, I think it just got on my nerves that the expansion pack didn't mix in well. I don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't mix in super well with the cards. And they're a slightly different color and a slightly different thickness and, a slightly different size, which expansion packs are always a slightly different size. But the color and the thickness got on my nerves. And I think sometimes when cards get on my nerves, when the production quality gets on my nerves, it makes me put the card deck away until that I get over that, right? And then once I'm over it, I can pull the cards back out, and I'm over it. So I'm ready to pull them back out. They have been sitting collecting dust in my closet. Well, not in the closet, on the shelf. Oh, bug. On the shelf for quite some time, and I'm ready to pull them back out, especially since I want to do some work with the Hoodoo Tarot this year. I'm definitely ready to do some serious work. More bugs, but those don't make me nervous. With the Hoodoo Tarot. Look, this is my favorite card. So this is a new card for this deck. I think this version of the deck, this edition, came with a cornbread card. And this card reminded me so much of the Hoodoo Tarot because one of my favorite cards, well, actually my favorite card in the Hoodoo Tarot, and maybe my favorite card, sun card in any deck, has a lady carrying a plate of cornbread. And it makes me so happy every time I see it. And when I saw this, I thought, oh, this will be fabulous. The funny thing about it is that I was watching Phyllis's channel and on Pairs, I think. I'll link the video that she talked about this deck and the Hoodoo Tarot together below. She was talking about how well they go together. And that's so funny because when she started talking about it, it reminded me of why I bought this deck to go with the Hoodoo Tarot. But I never put them together, never once, never read with them together at all. And then it slipped my mind that they both had the cornbread card, right? And then, so I pulled them back out after watching her video. This is the Hoodoo Tarot, by the way. I pulled them back out and was like, okay, let me see about these cards. She said they go together. Let me see. And then I started reading with them. And then I saw the cards and I said, oh, yeah, this is why I even bought these cards. Because they both had the cornbread card. But, we forget. So, this is the Hoodoo Tarot. This is another tarot that I want to reconnect with this year. Here's the cornbread card. There she is. I love her so much. She reminds me of my grandma, my aunties, like everybody, just all of them. Like, I love it. In her church hat. I actually have a book called Crowns that I bought back in 2000. It's actually a first edition. It's, I guess, an antique now. Does that make it an antique? About Black women and their church hats. And I actually was looking at it recently because I've been working with this deck and I've been working with the Southern Gothic. And I've been thinking about Black women and their church hats. So I dug out my book and I've just been reading a little bit every couple of days. It's separated into different women and their stories, and I actually really love it. Anyways, so this deck, I don't know, when I first got it, as a matter of fact, when I first got it, I got this one, which is a knockoff. It's actually not a bad copy, and I used it for a year or two before I finally got the full size. And for some reason, some of the images in this deck, it just really creeped me out. But I think it was because I didn't know what they were depicting. Like, these sorts of images I love. They make me feel close. They feel close to me. Stuff like this creeps me out, This I love. This I love. So it's like some of these I love so much, I want to bring them to hug them. And some of them creep me out so bad, I don't even know why. And so this creeps me out. But someone was telling me, you really, really gotta know the stories behind these people, right? You need to know the stories. And I knew when I bought this one that it was a knockoff. There was nothing I could do about it. It was already purchased. By the time I tried to send it back, they wanted to charge me a reshelving fee, which was basically almost the whole price of what I paid for it. So there was no point. It was like 50% of the price of what I paid for it. There was no point of returning it. So I just kept it and I used it for a few years. And then finally this one came available on Book Depository for, I think I paid maybe $16 for it, which is a decent price considering that I had already paid for that one. I didn't want to pay full price again. So I got it for a decent price. I love this card so much. I love this card. And with this one came the guidebook. The other one came with a guidebook if you scan that QR code, but that thing was sketchy, so I didn't want to scan it. And so I've been piecing through the guidebook. So I've had this one for I would say about a year now. And I've been looking in the guidebook and it's really interesting. It's really cool. I do love the way it's laid out. I love the stories. And I did read the story about one of the cards that freaked me out. And then it wasn't as creepy, And so the person who told me about that was right. This card creeps me out. But sometimes when I read the stories about why they've depicted the cards like that, it doesn't creep me out as much anymore, right? And so I've been doing that. But this year, I really want to go card by card, page by page through this deck. And so that's why it's on my deck Reconnect list. See, this creeps me out. Love that, so some of these cards but creepy, definitely creepy. Love it. And love. But I want to go through it. I'm going through the guidebook of this deck this year. This is one of my guidebook decks. I have 6 of them. So I will be going through the whole guidebook of this. I know that Abundant Life Tarot's Facebook page has a study. I may dip in and out of her study. She has an evergreen study on her page, Kim from Abundant Life Tarot. And I may dip in and out of that. I'm probably going to do a whole month with this deck this year. And this one, and in conjunction with the Southern Gothic Oracle. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be bringing this one along with me. So I have 2 more decks. We're almost there, guys. Get your sip of tea. I'm gonna get a sip of tea here in a minute. Anyways, that's the Hoodoo Tarot. Mass market. You can get it anywhere. Next one is the Gustave Doré. I don't know. This is the guy who does the Bible illustrations, the etchings for the Bibles, for the Bible stamps. And I saw this deck, and I had it on pre-order, and then I canceled my pre-order because I was like, oh, I don't know. And then I saw it on T.O.'s channel, Tarot Oracle. If you don't watch him, then you should. He's a lot of fun to watch read cards. Saw these backs. Sometimes a back will get me now. Sometimes they will. But I do love the fact that these are black and white. I love the imagery, the Christian imagery. I love anytime I can find a tarot deck that has representation of Christianity in it, and I feel it really represents it well in the way that I see it, or the way that I would like it to be, I guess. Then I want to have it. I want to have that in my collection. So this is I thought some of these cards did that. I felt like they were really well represented. However, I do feel like sometimes they can be a little what's the word? Yeah, I don't necessarily love the way they've depicted the cards using the imagery, using Gustave Doré's imagery. And I also don't like how sometimes they have taken some of the imagery and zoomed it way in. Let's see if I can find. So they've taken some of the imagery and zoomed it so far in that it's like fuzzy. And then it looks different from the rest of the cards. Like that one's pretty clear. It's nice. But some of them, like, they're so fuzzy. Let's see if I can find one. And when they do that, it really just pulls me. When I see one like that, it really just pulls me right the hell out of the reading, which is kind of annoying. I love this card. This is beautiful. Like, some of them, I mean, some of them slap, you know, and some of them, I just don't know. I'll be like, what the hell were you thinking? Like this one. See how fuzzy that is compared to the sharpness of this one? Because they've zoomed in on a part of the image and they didn't clear it up, or they didn't clean it up. And I don't understand why. Are we just supposed to accept that? Like, we're just supposed to be like okay with that? Like, Los Scarabeo, come on. Now I have I have quite a few Los Scarabeo art, what is this called? Like, curated art decks. I don't know if they're called what they're called, but I have quite a few, and I don't. This one is not the best. Let's just put it like that. I don't know. I'm trying to. And this one is not the best. However, it's not the worst. You know, I mean, the worst ones are gone now. I've rehomed them. This one I'm holding on to because there are some cards in this one I really do love. I really do, and I like the black and white. It's always nice to have a black and white deck in my collection. I like this. It's a Los Scarabeo deck. I love this World card. It's a Los Scarabeo deck. Love this Magician as well. Easy to shuffle for me. Easy to use. Nice to have a black and white deck that's easy to shuffle and easy to use. Some of the images really do slap. So yeah, this is one that I want to work with more in 2023, and maybe sort of I think working with it more is going to give me more. I don't know. I think I'll feel more connected to it when I work with it a little bit more. So that is the Gustave Doré. Or Gustave Doré, or Gustave Dor, whatever. I don't know how to say this man's name. Tarot by Los Scarabeo. This one is new. Okay. I think that's it. Oh, no, I have one more. This is the last one. This is the Spirit of the Animals Oracle. I don't know why I don't work with this. Let me pull you out a little bit because this box is a little bit big. These cards are a little big. I love this deck, and actually the reason that I have realized how much I love this deck is because I have recently put in I love this penguin card. I love penguins, and the fact that this card is in here and so freaking beautiful makes me so happy. So I always, when I close this up, I always put that one back on the top because it's so freaking stunning, and I love to see it when I open the box. I used to have this on my wall, like it came with like this big spread poster. Like I used to use this deck so much, right? And then I got these other decks, and I have some other animal decks. One in particular that I love to use in the summer because it has light colors, and this is upside down, and then this one got just sort of pushed to the back because I was forcing myself to use this other one, which I have decided to rehome. It's also gorgeous, but I just can't use it. It just doesn't. I just don't like it. I mean, long story short, I just don't like it. So I put it in the closet. It's going out. It's leaving, and another one is leaving, which I do like, but for some reason I think I've just grown out of. And so since I've got two animal decks leaving, you know, I got the itch to buy another one, and I'm not trying to buy new things right now. So it sent me looking through my collection at my animal oracle decks because I was like, I must have something that could scratch the itch, right? And this one definitely does. So I pulled it back out, and this is going to be one that I will be reconnecting with in 2023. It's a beautiful deck with beautiful illustrations. This came from, I want to say this is US Games. Yeah, US Games. Beautiful, beautiful illustrations. It has the name of the animal, a keyword, and then has a wonderful message at the bottom of the card. This is, definitely my last deck that I want to reconnect with in 2023. So those are the decks that I want to reconnect with in 2023. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed thinking about this and putting it together. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Like I said, I'm going to be making a playlist. I think I'm going to call it Collection Reflection. I can't get it to say. And yeah, I'll be talking about my decks in different ways and reflecting on what I want to do with them and how I want to use them over the years. Over this year. So, all right. Stay safe. Be blessed. Bye.